I had some, you can have it, Ollie, believe me. But I don't have them.
We'll come back to the results later.
Hey.
Stephen does try to tackle his stress levels and keep his heart healthy.
I'll run around like an idiot for 5 minutes and probably hack my guts up and come off. If I'm not asked to leave before that, it can look quite embarrassing. That's what I've been told, you know. It's like, give up fatty, I hear sometimes.
Oh, no.
You good with this? Well then, Steve, get rid of it.
You're right, I think I got off that worst one here.
You alright, guys?
It's come up like a fucking balloon. Too old for this fucking shit.
But not all exercise has to be that painful. Some have opted for a slightly less conventional method. This is the Bristol Laughter Workshop, de-stressing the body with Coach Joe Hoare.
Cheese. I focused on the E bit of it, the cheese. It's a very vigorous cardiovascular workout. So what happens when you laugh is, first of all, your blood pressure goes up, and then after the whole sort of merriment and mirth bit subsides, your blood pressure and your heart rate then sort of drop to a lower, sort of steadier level. That's the general sort of pattern.
It's very infectious, actually. It's usually what laughing. I'm usually laughing at somebody else laughing. Actually, that's what really gets me going.
When you smile and laugh, you release endorphins, and they're our body's natural painkillers and stress relievers, and so on and so on. There's a great sort of muscular sort of relaxing, all this sort of smiling and laughing. It helps us sort of feel on top of life.
Things aren't so much fun back in Cheltenham. We measured the levels of the stress hormone cortisol and its effect on Stephen's heart during a busy lunchtime service. I'm meeting with stress expert Julie Turner-Cobb, who has his cortisol results and the footage of the experiment. Cortisol is normally high in the morning, helping us get up and go, and then slowly decreases throughout the day. But Stephen's cortisol is low first thing, rising to a peak mid-morning. Stephen's facing his stress for the first time.
He's had a vegetarian Oops.
Bit of a Gordon Ramsay moment there, Stephen.
You just don't know you're doing it.
You're pissing it down.
Yeah, because we open at 12 o'clock on a Sunday and usually do very few dinners between 12 and 1. You know you're going to get sort of spanked at 1 o'clock because everyone's and their aunt comes in at the same time.
And that fits very well with your cortisol profile, because the whole idea that with cortisol, as you were saying, that you're ready for dealing with a stress. But if you're pacing up and down, you're actually producing these hormones such as cortisol, but you're not using it up at all. You're not running anywhere or having to do anything in the kitchen.
Stephen's abnormal cortisol levels are definitely having an effect on his heart.
These are fairly high blood pressures.
Are they?
At the
So I don't
moment,
know what's normal. What is normal?
39 over 94. This is what I find really weird, is that your blood pressure's gone right up to 150 systolic at 4 o'clock, which is when you're finishing. I mean, it's not desperately high, but I mean, I think if you've got these sort of changed cortisol patterns and it's chronic, then stress certainly has a bad effect on your heart and your blood vessels.
So how do I change this then?
There are no quick fixes, but there are things that work very effectively. And I don't know what sort of things you're into, but for some people it's relaxation, Tai Chi, yoga, those sorts of things.
Meditation.
If, like Stephen, you're not into yoga or meditation, then any moderate exercise will be good, even just walking the dog. But trying to deal with stress can often lead us to make the wrong choices for the health of our hearts.
My way of dealing with it sometimes is once a month I go back to London and have a bender with a mate for 3 days.
Excessive drinking raises your blood pressure and makes your blood more likely to clot. But we're forever being told that moderate drinking can be good for the heart. So I want to find out how, and what is moderate anyway? I've come to Edinburgh to meet cardiologist Dr. David Newby to measure the effects of alcohol on my arteries. And where better to find him than in his local pub?
There's a glass of red wine sitting here.
Yes, it looks right. Ominous, isn't it?
It is very ominous.
Your job, should you choose to accept it, is to drink this glass of wine, and we'll see whether these arteries can relax a little bit more under the effects of alcohol.
David's got a pulse wave monitor which will analyse the pressure of blood flowing through my arteries.
So do you need to measure them to begin with?
Yes. So what we need to do, let's put this little pressure transducer on there, the radial pulse, make a recording on the screen.
So it's not just measuring the rate of my heart then from the
No,
pulse?
it's not just the rate, it also shows the overall wave profile.
So this is the blood surging through the artery every time my heart beats?
That's right. And so when the blood's going through the body, the arteries have a tone themselves, and when you drink alcohol, the arteries relax a little bit, so that the way that the wave passes down the body changes.
So it's a little bit like the sort of whole body effects of alcohol.
That's
that,
right.
You know, you feel generally relaxed, but actually inside you, all your blood vessels are relaxing as well.
Absolutely, and we know that if your arteries are stiff and tense,
Yeah.
then that's a bad thing, and you can cause heart attacks and strokes and things
Right.
like that.
So,
Get the wine down and let's see what happens.
If my arteries are relaxed, then my heart won't have to pump so hard, pushing the blood through my vessels. Minutes and 2 glasses of wine later.
so David, this is the tracing my heart now that I've had a couple of glasses
That's right.
of
So
wine.
this is the pressure trace now.
Right.
And if I was to show you what you were like before we did this,
Yeah.
you'll
Oh,
see
that
that.
was much higher.
See how that
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
up? It's not
Yeah.
until you have the alcohol that we move to this nice relaxed state where your arteries really are very comfortable and compliant and relaxed. And it really reduces the amount of work that your heart's doing. So
Presumably this effect doesn't just carry on and on though. I mean, if I was to drink more and more glasses of wine, I think the good effects of the alcohol
That's
would
right.
wear off and the
That's
evil
right.
effects will start to
I think
build up.
absolutely 2 or 3 drinks, 2 or 3 times a week is very good for the heart. Keeps the blood flowing, keeps the arteries relaxed, and stops the furring up and the hardening of the arteries that we see when we have heart attacks and strokes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So, drinking moderately is good for your heart by relaxing the arteries and easing blood flow.